definitely expecting, you know, Neuz to put up a very, very good fight in this matchup. So here we go. Game number 1, best of 5 begins right now.
Kyna getting the first weapon.
Neuz.
Kyna looking strong with that sword right now.
Yeah, rotating on that right side. Loving what Kyna's going here. Trying to hit the bait, though, holding on that side stick just a little too long, but still a pretty even damage output thus far from both of the opponents here. Oh, but Neuz going a little too low.
Oh,
I don't
and
know
there it is.
happened.
Unable to touch an early stock loss by Neuz. Kyna taking the first stock with a great lead. I think Kyna's really just going to want to build up that lead right now, and he's in a great position to do it. Neuz hasn't picked up the weapon just yet, and there it is, just punishing.
Oh no, and you can just tell right now, Kyna has definitely had the mental game going, but a beautiful read on the double sideline into then the GC downlight to then punish him with the Sarah to confirm the KO. And now, you know, Neuz is still in a tough position, but definitely looking a lot better than that first SD we saw in stock.
Yeah, it's not looking as grim as we thought it would be, and Neuz really using those soft platforms to great extent there. Getting some good combos in. Kyna with the SIG, unable to connect though. Neuz doing some great edge guarding over there.
Dude, I love it. Neuz doing absolutely everything in their power to make it back, but Kyna extending all the way past every single jump, even the GC to go all in on that recovery to confirm that KO early once again. Kyna's been finishing these stocks literally at orange, both back to back, and in a situation this big, it is going to take something major for Neuz, because that is something you cannot afford to do if you're going to be Kyna Ackerman.
And we've got both players on the sword as well. Both have sword legends, so we're going to see a lot of that recovery to send on this map, especially when both players are in the red. Ooh, Neuz! Early loss! Oh, wow! Okay, two stock by Kyna over there. I don't even know where Neuz's second stock went, honestly.
You know, I thought this was going to be close.
Yeah, massive damage difference there.
And
Kyna doing almost double the damage there.
Dude, I mean, it's ridiculous. Looking back at the replays here, I mean, again, just Kyna overextending on each and every single combo, and it just paid off every single time. And look right there.
Punish. Look at that.
Going into ground pound, into recovery, and then finishing it off with a nair at the top.
You know, that recovery, just being able to send off of the top of this map, man, that was a quick and easy punish with that recovery. But Kyna showing some amazing knowledge with that sword, picking the exact right options you want to see, and a great punish against Neuz.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we're definitely going to have to see a bit of a different game plan. We are getting a different map, though, going into Demon Island. So Kyna is not going to be able to rely on a lot of those soft platforms, which we saw in the last map. But it does not seem to matter at all here, sir.
No, Kyna punishing hard right now.
Loaded.
So, Rain, tell me, what do we need to see from Neuz right now to just kind of take control of this match again?
Yeah. So a big thing for Neuz right now is, I'd say the benefit is being on Demon Island and then focusing on using the spear. So what you're going to see Neuz try to do a lot. That was a bad weapon throw, but Neuz has to find a way to create space, bait out either a side light or just an end light that Kyna's going for, and then punish just like that.
Follow-up with the signature.
Look at that.
Unarmed downlight, ground pound. A little classic off the edge over there. Neuz taking the early lead, but Neuz is in the orange, so Kyna has a little bit of work to do, but not that much right now to catch up. This is where you want to be right now if you're in Neuz's position, being down 1-0 right now.
And the key for Neuz is right here is to not get greedy. You know, you just build up that damage, understand that you are in the advantage here, and find a way to not get caught out before you can build enough a lead to take down someone as good as Kyna Ackerman. But man, just the, dude, and that's what's kind of doing so well. The overextension again, hitting the Sair, falling off the edge, and then exhausting all recovery options into another Sair, then to use the dash back to then make it there. It is just incredible. Kyna's going all in this matchup, and I'm loving the confidence we're seeing this far.
Yeah, Kyna's doing great with those side airs. I mean, you know, we wanted to see Neuz play a little more conservatively, kind of be able to build up that damage with the stock lead. Unfortunately, Kyna had the answer to that. Hitting them with those side airs. We're seeing those side lights come out on ground right now as well. Great options, great defense right now from Kyna, and he's taking the lead.
Yeah, and I want to see Neuz go back to the spear. Yeah, okay, you can see Neuz at least going for a little bit of web throw. Wait, Kyna overextending off the edge, and the GCD line into the ground pound. That was such a huge mistake for Kyna that we have not seen at all from a composed, just collective so far within their gameplay, and that is just something that is very uncharacteristic of Kyna, and that's just exactly what Neuz needs to get back into the series.
Definitely. I got to say, though, Neuz is playing great. He's holding his own. He's still come out real strong, weapon starving, great over here, showing great stage control, and has managed to come back and take the lead.
Yep. Neuz is looking so good on this edge right now. Kyna, though, is still somebody, no matter what they are in their stock, they can always find a way to come back in this matchup.
Beautiful weapon throw recovery there from Kyna, sending Neuz to his final stock.
That was nasty.
Yeah.
That was so nasty. All right, now Kyna's in a position, sirs, to come back here. And if Neuz loses this match, you got to think just from the mental aspect, this is going to be such a tough one because Neuz has been in the lead the entire time thus far.
Yeah, I got to say, I feel like these two are really evenly matched, though. And, you know, after coming off of game 1 where Kyna took the dub, I feel like Neuz has got a little bit of an advantage coming out strong here.
Yo, going for the bait on that end.
Beautiful, both players in red right now.
Come on.
Neuz getting that side air with the weapon throw follow-up.
That might be it. That might be it. No, it's
not enough. Kyna able to make it back on stage.
Wow. Kind of just looking for that
beautiful neutral sig from Neuz.
Wow.
Taking game 2, Rain. We're tied up.
You know, they say if you never shoot your shot, then how are you ever going to hit, right? And I'll tell you what there, Neuz baited out so many times with the NSYNC and finally was able to connect there. Looking back at the replays right now, just great spacing from Neuz. That was off that second stock where Kyna Ackerman made a massive mistake, exhausted all options way too early. And just like that again, Kyna Ackerman misses a Sair that usually Kyna Ackerman wouldn't miss there. And Neuz was right there to then counterattack and then, you know, confirm the KO. So
Rain, take a look at these stats right here. They're pretty close. We've got 499 damage to 517. They're exactly even on average damage per engagement, as well as light attacks. Look at that. Now signatures, we see a little more. Neuz has been really relying on those signatures a lot more with 50% accuracy, but can't find a difference just yet. It's tied up 1-1.
Yeah, it's actually extremely awesome that they're actually that close, especially with even looking at the charts. And, you know, ultimately, it is now a 1-1, right? So are we going to see Kyna adapt within this situation where, okay, the Koji's worked well, but I think another legend might work out a little bit better.
I think so. And we can't see this just yet, but a little spoiler, Kyna's locked in on the Bodvar.
Oh,
a little bit of a switch over here.
Time?
Yeah, so still grabbing onto that sword and then switching up that bow for hammer. So much for that Boji.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what Kyna's definitely looking for here is just a way to, you know, create a lot more space and build up more damage. A big thing that, you know, Kyna's noticed against Neuz this entire time is that if Neuz is able to hold stage control, Kyna is not really able to build up a lot of damage just because Kyna's not able to confirm a lot of these combos off the rip. Whereas if Kyna can find a way to kind of utilize this hammer action and force Neuz to play a little less aggro, it's definitely allow Kyna to remain very comfortable in the current situation.
You know, I see Kyna hasn't been picking up that hammer just yet, though. Still relying on that sword. Doing great, doing amazing on the edge guarding. Neuz hasn't been on the stage too much just yet. Neuz opting for that spear now, but kind of still sticking with that sword. So I wonder where that chain's going to come in. When is that hammer going to come into play?
Yeah, and it definitely looks like Kyna's still feeling very comfortable on the sword. Obviously, the one weapon that does rotate off the Koji pick. But Kyna just taking... Oh, I love that!
Beautiful GC.
Over there, GC into that side light there, now getting the Nair. And look at this. Notice where Kyna puts themselves in a position every time. Yeah. They always rotate back to the middle of the map and then look for a punish option against Neuz every time.
I do feel like Neuz has got more stage control, especially in Game 3 right now. Neuz is kind of showing a lot more dominance, not letting Kyna come back on stage, hitting those side airs. There it is, even unarmed. Beautiful ground pound. Wow. What a move.
Wow. And the crazy thing about that is that Neuz was so overextended. Neuz had not touched the ground throughout that entire time, and then hitting a final rotation in dark red against Hammer? What? But you know what?
A little risky, but
you
got to risk it for the biscuit, right? Kind of beautiful side air to send. Neuz almost on their second stock, but not just yet. Kyna's going to want to close this gap as soon as possible and not get darker into the yellow. There it is, big side air. It's not enough to send, unfortunately.
That's crazy.
Ooh, okay. Neuz not able to touch.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of a misclick on the GC because, you know, if Neuz is able to GC right there, Neuz should have been able to make it back with a dare. But definitely a little bit of a lax in gameplay on that aspect.
You know, we came into Game 3 and I felt like Neuz started real strong. We're seeing a little more stage control and dominance from Kyna right now. Kyna has kind of taken over the center of the stage, exerting a lot of those side airs, keeping that pressure on Neuz right now. And that's what I want to see from Kyna. Beautiful down sig. I want to see. Oh, ground pound.
Do it again.
Followed up with the side air.
Do it again.
And amazing, amazing. Great offstage control right there from Neuz. Taking Kyna's second stock.
That was incredible. That was incredible. And Neuz is saying, hey, man, I might be the little dog here, but I got a big bark, and I'm not going down without a fight. Neuz building up so much damage. Again, just going so aggressive on the attack and making the most of their opportunities to bring this game back into an actual advantage state, which we hadn't seen it at all this far.
Yeah, and Neuz is going to want to build up that almost lap on the stock, but kind of answering back real quick. Didn't take a lot of damage in their third stock.
Yeah, that was tough. You know, 3 hammers to the face off the edge, that'll that'll definitely send you out of the map pretty quick there.
Right. All right, so this is it. Third stock in game 3. Both players almost even right now, kind of just a little bit more damage.
Uh-oh.
And again, they've been so evenly matched. Honestly, it could go any direction. Great down sig.
That was so good. That was so good. Such a good bait on that one, but Kyna said,
beautiful control.
You didn't think I'd come at you unarmed. Oh, no, it's still not enough, though. Kyna doesn't even need a weapon. What? He's a madman.
Not at all.
He's a madman, Cyrus. What is happening?
Hammer, sword, unarmed. It's all good. It's kind of staged for right now. But Neuz letting him back on stage, giving him a little bit of respect, especially here in the third stock.
Oh, that's it.
Big side air.
That's
there it is. Kyna ending it, taking game 3. Rain, just a reminder, all of these games are going to be best of 5s right now.
Yeah, dude.
So we're in for
my gosh. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And just, I mean, looking back at just our reactions for each of these matches, they are incredible, and I cannot believe what we've seen thus far. I mean, everything has just been, like, even this when it came down to that last stock, what makes me so just sad is that Neuz had every opportunity to win that, but Kyna was just able to strike back and strike harder.
Stats, again, pretty much even between both players, and I think this is a great set to go to game 5, honestly.
Yep, definitely going to be a good possibility. And I do like, okay, see this right here? They did end up making it back on Demon Island, and Neuz is going to stick with the bow in the very beginning of this matchup.
Kind of sticking with Bodvar.
The spear.
Yeah, and kind of sticking with Bodvar, you know, got that dub in the 3rd game, so why change something if it ain't broke?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So already a lot of damage, though, initially here for Kyna to build off Neuz. And that's just one of those things with Hammer. If you take a lot of those Sayers, a lot of those Nairs, it is going to add up so fast and eliminate the stock before you can even see yourself having a chance to come back here.
But, you know, we have seen Neuz kind of close this deficit pretty easily and pretty quickly as well. You know, a couple ground pounds, great edge guarding, Neuz, which Neuz has been showing all day today, and easily evening it up.
Yeah, and that's what works so well for Neuz is that, you know, Neuz just overcommits. Oh, wow, what a beautiful GC
and a great example of that right there, right?
Where it didn't pay off for Neuz, right? Because that's where Neuz has been getting a lot of these early KOs on Kyna is just overcommitting to these just insane strings, and Kyna has no idea that it's coming, but it's paying off. But apparently Kyna has now at least found a way to adapt against Neuz's playstyle and is definitely building up a ton of damage thus far.
You know, as we get into game 3 and game 4, both players are starting to learn and starting to adapt to their opponents. And I think this is a great example. Kyna and Neuz, already so evenly matched, are just getting a little bit better at understanding their opponents.
Yeah, and now we're back on the sword on sword, something that we've seen thus far, but Kyna wanting to rotate back into the hammer. Oh no, is Kyna gonna do it again? Kyna's like, I don't even need a weapon. Let me just go all in and hit you with these shakeups to where it makes the most of each of these opportunities.
Look at these weapon throws, the aggression, the going in. This is what I love about South America.
D-line head sig! D-line head sig!
Beautiful offstage option. He doesn't even bother with the follow-up. He says, you're not making it back.
No way! Comeback season?
I think so.
Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought Neuz was finished?
Now, Neuz is in the red, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for a game 5.
Oh, kind of looking off. Wait, what? That was the most insane take I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Weapon throw off the stage, bouncing off of Kyna's head to make it back, and now Neuz getting a little bit of the extra credit there, but Neuz, unfortunately, was not able to capitalize enough of that. But still, it's extremely even.
Pretty even.
They're
and
literally
hey,
one hit away.
Weapon throw off stage, do what you got to do, you know, to make it back.
Oh, the weapon star's coming in real heavy here, though. Okay, Neuz is back at sword, though. Kyna has pretty much won every single sword engagement thus far when it's been in this 1v1 situation. So I'm curious to see if Neuz decides. Oh, see that?
Beautiful little options there. Wow.
But it works. It works.
Neuz following up with his own.
Come on. Come on.
Brandon, I want to see more of that kind of hammer. I feel like we just haven't seen enough of it. And as I say that, he picks it up.
I think Kyna must be listening to you, sirs. Are you a coach? Are you tapped into his ear? It seems to be working. Oh, big
beautiful side air.
Oh,
and another one.
No,
Is that enough? It's not.
Oh, no.
It's not.
Oh, no.
Neuz unable to make it back. Kyna
no.
doesn't even try. Taking game 4 and the set. 3-1 to Kyna. Hey, it was a great series.
It was.
Neuz got nothing to be ashamed of.
Neuz did a phenomenal job in that matchup. Just ultimately, you know, it just, you know, Hammer, I'll tell you what, Hammer Sayer, a whole lot of Hammer Sayers was smacking Neuz in the face that entire matchup, and ultimately it did lead to the downfall within that match. So, you know what, GG's to both players. Kyna will be moving on in that matchup. Neuz tournament run is officially out. Cirrus is out.